Hey YouTube, it's your girl Sydney, aka Sid the Kid. Um, I know the past week or so has been rough for many Kobe Bryant fans, including myself. Um, Kobe, he let let's say this, he played in about three different generations of basketball lovers. He got drafted in the 90s. He might have easily played with in a time when Michael Jordan and Shaquille O'Neal, but Shaquille O'Neal, still played until he retired. You know, I want to say in the 2000s or the 2010s. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, but it kind of affected me in a way because the way that I heard about it was in my group chat, and somebody was like, Kobe Bryant, dot, dot, dot. I'm like, Kobe Bryant, what you mean, dot, dot, dot. So it took me, because I was doing something, and I found out when I was here on campus. It took me a few minutes to actually read up on the story, and coming to find out that he unfortunately lost his life in a helicopter accident, along with a few other people that might have been well known in that community or well known, across the United States and possibly the world as well. And I was like, oh man, that's kind of heartbreaking. And a few minutes later, found out that one of his daughters was on the plane too, on the aircraft as well. I'm like, I was really devastating for our father and daughter to go out the way they did. I'm like, God rest their souls for real, because to lose a parent is one thing. To let's say to lose a parent slash significant other, whether it be a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, um, is really devastating for their family, and also devastating for their families as well, because they have made a substantial impact on their personal lives as well as their everyday lives, what people see outside their home. Um, I know his wife is still devastated by the loss of not only her husband but also her child as well. Because, like the old saying goes, you're really not supposed to go before your parents, regardless of what happens. But in many unfortunate cases, which I've been a witness of, it happens the same exact way. I've seen it firsthand. Um, it's just sad, um, you know. But it really shows you, and like I said, it happens to my life too, in my life as well, that it shows you that you may have this idea of, oh, I'm gonna go when I'm in my, 70s, 80s, and 90s. No, it shows that God can take you right now. God can take you when you're 5. God can take you when you're 15. God can take you when you're 20s. So God can take you even at 41. Life is too short to be trying to argue back and forth. He said, she said, baby mama drama, baby daddy drama, this, that, and the other. And I'm not trying to steer away from what happened to Kobe and his family, but and I do apologize for that unfortunate accident, whether the pilot knew it or not, or what the weather conditions were that day. I'm not blaming it on him, but it's just sad to see those lives lost on that aircraft. It really is. And I'm not saying this is the first time it happened. I would definitely not say it will be the last time that happens, because you can go back to a few years ago where a bunch of people had died on, I forgot what airline it was and where it was going to, but you had Americans, you had Middle Eastern, you had Africans, you had all these people from different nationalities and backgrounds all down on the aircraft because of lost communications, bad coordinates, or the weather, or mechanical issues, if that. And I'm not trying to steer away from that, but things do happen for a reason, and I hope you know these instances can be an eye opener. Now, there has been multiple celebrity deaths over my course of my college career, And I'm gonna go ahead and start with Triple X. He died because they're, correct me if I'm wrong again, because somebody had a hit on him or somebody had beef with him, so they had to pull up to the car dealership and shoot the man. For what? And he was only, what, 20, 21 years old? With the child on the way, and the child is born now, so now the child is gonna have to grow up without a father because of what? Senseless violence. And he was trying to change his life around. Personally, I didn't really listen to his music, but from what I read, he really was trying to change his life around. Nipsey, right up on him. The way he was going, he was always trying to change his life around. He had like a whole strip section, and the same strip section that he owned was the same place that he fatally got shot. Why? For what? Because of music, because of gang violence, because of violence in general. And then like with Kobe Bryant perishing in the helicopter crash. Alright, it wasn't as bad as gang violence, but it's still up there. It's pretty bad. Whether, like I said, I'm not trying to blame it on the pilot either, but for you to be a pilot, you should know the clear visual, like the clear line of, should I go today? Should I fly this, you know, aircraft today? Or should I just let you say, hey, the weather's not too good for visibility? We don't have to drive to your destination. So that's just my thoughts on the whole situation. And yes, I kind of got sidetracked a little bit, but I'm making comparisons, as you want to say. But at the end of the day, like I said, life is too short to be doing he said, she said stuff. Life is too short to have arguments with people saying I hate you, this, that, and the other. And yes, I'm gonna find myself guilty. I do that stuff. I'm like, it's he said, she said, no, I don't like you, I hate you, this, that, and the other. But that's only in the heat of the moment. Do I really mean it? No. But if it's reoccurring, then I'm like, it might as well kind of be true. But I don't want to be have that on my spirit when I'm being judged. No, I'm a Christian, and with that being said, Christians believe in God or Allah or Yahweh, um, because we share this basically the same connection with Judaism and Islam. Like we believe in one God, and we just have different names for it, and basically share the same books of the Old Testament. And I think Christianity is the only one that has the New Testament in it, which we follow the life lessons of Jesus as well. And we believe that Jesus is the Messiah and not another prophet. Like probably what the Islamic faith thinks that Jesus is just another prophet. We actually believe that that's the Son of God. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's sad. And the way he went out, you wouldn't think that, like I said, you won't go out that way. And I don't know what else to say. Because I'm still kind of took aback about it. And people are still doing tributes to this day. Like, even though it's only been a week, people are still paying that tribute. And of course, the Lakers that had a tribute where they were either number 8 or the number 24. And from that, I was like, here's number 8, all the way 6'6", all the way from Sussex High School. Here is Kobe Bryant. Even though that's clearly not one of the players' names, but they was doing it in honor of Kobe Bryant. So, with that being said, if you don't know me, I'm sorry. If you're gonna get to know me, I'm sorry. If you know me, I'm sorry for anything I ever done or going to do or is about to happen. Um, Trust me, I know how it feels to lose somebody. I know how it feels to lose somebody to murder. I know how it feels to lose somebody to suicide. I know how it feels to lose somebody who was stillborn. I know how it feels to just lose somebody from, a freak accident, such as choking on food. I know how it feels to lose somebody who had cancer. Two people who I know who had cancer. And two, I know how it feels to lose somebody who dies in old age. I know that, trust me. I see it all around me every single day. And was it hard? Yes. The first person I ever lost in my life that you know, when I got older, I knew what the concept of death was. But the first person who I ever loved, who raised me basically alongside with my mother, was my grandmother, because she had cancer of the kidneys. It it got to a point where it's so bad that the doctors didn't have another outsource for her besides to go to hospice and live out those final days. And so that's why that hurted me, because I'm like, dang, I only spent 7, 8 years of my life only having my grandma for that period of time. And I'm like, then she's going down. Like I didn't have a concept of death yet. So I was like, okay, she'll come back. She'll come back. As time goes on, I'm like, she's not coming back. And within those 2 years, I cried. Like, I literally cried thinking about my grandmother. And then the second person that would go was my grandfather. Now, on that case, I really didn't know my grandfather like that. I only seen him a few times, but he was in a nursing home. And, he was like, hey, I remember when you was such a young baby, like an infant. And of course, you being an infant, you don't know who people are until you actually get older and start having those facial recognitions and be like, oh, grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, this and the other. Like, you don't know who your parents are because you're going to be around them most of the time anyway. But other than that, yeah, it's just like that. I'm like, dang, I didn't even know my grandpa long enough. And then on top of that, he had Alzheimer's disease, so his memory was fading in and out regardless. Um, the third person who really kind of led my life tragically was my uncle. My uncle was murdered by a jealous ex, and a jealous ex of a girlfriend slash fiance that he was gonna marry until uh, apparently he was fatally murdered by the gentleman. The gentleman is in prison, um, but it was like one of those things that if I can't have her, nobody can have her at all. So that fateful morning, and the crazy thing is, they both worked at the same factory. That's the crazy thing about it. Um, but the crazy thing is, the dude went up to their house, and it was gonna be a double homicide, but it ended up being a homicide slash attempted murder. But of course, the young lady that's in question, she didn't get hurt, but it did shake her up. And she called my uncle, and they was like, "Hey, turn around, go back to the factory. Such such is on his way to, commit harm to you. This, that, and the other." So he turned around. He trying to hunt for them to open up the gate, and they didn't make it in time. So he ended up plowing through, and then the rest. He was fatally shot multiple times. Um, I would say the third person was my cousin. She lost her child stillborn. I'm not gonna go into too much detail. Then my other cousin, he committed suicide by shooting himself in the head, because this was years after the fact that my uncle was murdered. I want to say 7 to 8 years after my uncle was murdered, and he had a gun in his possession, which he rightfully owned and got his license for. Um, you know, he had an altercation with his girl, and then boom, he ended up killing himself. And I think he either died on the spot or he was transferred to the hospital, and that's where he later died. And that was right before I graduated high school. And then once I graduated high school, 2 months after that, my uncle had passed away because he had choked on some food. And once when you choke on some food, if there's not enough oxygen to go to your brain, then they can do whatever is possible. Not saying that people who choke on food and not enough oxygen goes to their brain that they don't come back and live a perfectly normal life, but that's not what the case with my uncle. There was not enough oxygen that went to the brain, so it was declared brain dead by that point, and we kept her on life support for a couple of days, and that was kind of rough because this all happened within a 3 to 4 month period, and this was my senior year in high school, and it's like, dang, that's how you know God can take you at any age, because if He can take an unborn child that hasn't even made it into the real world yet, then He knows He could take a 20-some-year-old, He could take a 40-some-year-old, He could take a 50-some-year-old. You don't have to literally be in your 70s and 80s and 90s for a God to call you home, or whoever so you believe in, whether that be Yahweh, whether it be Allah, God, Jesus. you know, if your religion is Buddhism, Judaism, Hinduism, or if you don't have a religion at all, or you just want to worship Satan, um, yeah, like whoever your higher power is, that can take you with like that. So, like I said, I really didn't want to get sidetracked, but going back to Kobe, just pray for his family, pray for the people that are around you that have lost somebody. Just so yeah. So, like I said, Sid the Kid, I'm out. Don't mind my messy room. Life of a college student, but we out. This peace. Peace.